What up, guys? Your boy Quake. And when 50 Cent speaks on a certain topic relating to street stuff, criminal activity, whatever it is, everybody wants to listen because 50's been through it all when it comes to his career, from dealing with going against drug kingpins that wanted to murder him and end his whole life to, making it into becoming an icon that he is now. Well, he appeared on The Breakfast Club and got asked about Lil Durk's situation where he got tied up for murder for hire. If you're not aware, Lil Durk did get charged for murder for hire, and they're speculating that he is potentially linked to hiring people to get rid of 3 different individuals. The feds haven't officially confirmed anything or said anything really in the public. He's just been locked up right now, and Lil Durk plans on fighting the case, as he just recently said. But, of course, while 50 was on Breakfast Club, he got asked that, and 50 revealed some really interesting information. 50 revealed when he first linked up with Lil Durk was when he was working on the theme song for the Power Force show, which is led by Tommy. And the theme song was titled Power, Powder, Respect, and it featured Jeremiah and Lil Durk. And during that time, 50 Cent spoke with Lil Durk and talked about how, you got to be careful of the people you have around you. And he first basically asked, hey, are these guys actual, really about that street life? Durk said, yeah. But he said, be careful how these people move, man. Watch what they're doing.
And even with Durk, I was telling him, when I had him, he was in New York. We did, not that the acting role, when we was doing the theme song for Force.
Mm-hmm. Got you.
For the Chicago version.
Yep.
Then, I was like, yo, this is them, right? It's the real shit, right? He was like, yeah. And I said, yo, just watch him. His crew. Because he said that, you know what I'm saying? And it's like, I've always had that energy myself in the middle of everything that was going on. I'm not just watching.
We know, Fifth.
When you said that to Durk, what was his response to you?
He said, you know what? He said, somebody just came in my house. How do they know exactly what the address is? I don't give my address to nobody. This is not, because something happened.
The robbery in Georgia?
Yeah.
When India had to shoot?
He went straight to talking about that.
Mm-hmm.
Damn. What do you think?
And the reason why 50 said this is because when 50 was first coming up, he had a guy by the name of Bangum Smurf with him in the early times, and he reveals a story a while ago that he had Bangum Smurf with them on tour, and then whenever they would go back to New York, Bangum Smurf would just do a bunch of street stuff, shoot things up, do whatever in the streets, and 50 had to let him go because he was like, now that we're making legal money off this music, we can't be doing street stuff. I mean, he even talked about that with Yayo and how they can't be purchasing drugs and doing anything street related. Once you make legal money, it doesn't make sense anymore. So 50's been through that process himself. So when he spoke to Durk, he basically said, watch out for your individuals that are around you and what they're doing, because they can get you tied up in a lot of things, and watch what you say. And as we've heard of reports that OTF Jam, the person who was part of Lil Durk's crew, allegedly wore a wire. So if Durk said a lot of incriminating stuff, he definitely caught that in the wire that he was wearing. So that's why 50 basically said, hey, watch what you're saying around these people. You don't see them every day. And if they get out of prison early, way before than expected, then you need to really watch them, because how did they get out of the prison? And 50 actually tells a story about his driver, the person that he was having drive him all over the place. He says his driver took a gun to the airport, and because he had prior felony charges, he expected him not to get out. He expected, hey, I got to hire a lawyer. I got to help him with this situation. But it turns out he got out immediately. So 50 was like, how do you get out bringing a gun to an airport, which is a felony charge, and you had previous felony charges? Usually they don't let you go. So 50 was like looking at him, sideways, like, how did you get out? And he basically in his mind made the decision that this guy snitched and agreed with the police to potentially get him caught up in something.
I had a driver. Mm-hmm. He went in the airport with a hammer on him. The lawyer called me like 2 o'clock in the morning. He said, you got arrested, this and that. And I go, oh. I said, he said, it's all right to send a lawyer for him. I said, he ain't gonna need a lawyer, he gonna need bond. Right? And then he called back and he says, no. He said, this and that, he made the flight. He made the flight by the time we get there in the car. I sat in the car, man. I'm like this. I ain't said a motherfucker all the way to the hotel.
And around that time, the hip hop police were really heavy on 50's radar because they were constantly, going after him because of all the street stuff he had going on right when he started to blow up with Supreme and then eventually Jimmy Henchman and Damian World Hardy and all these individuals he was having issues with. The police kept a close eye on him, and they really wanted to get him jammed up in any way that they could. And even Prodigy, rest in peace to him, he tells a story about how the police tried to get him to basically wear a wire and go, get 50 to somehow snitch and try to plant a gun to 50 in his car. And Prodigy said, no, I'm not doing that. Are you crazy? Blah, 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 blah. So that's happened in 50's career where the police have tried to set him up in one way or another or try to get people to turn on him. And because 50's been through that, he decided to share some advice to Durk and said, listen, man, watch these individuals around you, because even Durk responded to that saying, how did they know my address? How did certain shooters know my address? And this is referring to the story way back when Durk's house in Atlanta got attacked by robbers and his girlfriend, India, had to shoot them in order for them to get out of the house. And Durk was surprised because he was like, how did certain shooters know my address? Where did that come from? And clearly that's, in between people, because these people that Durk is hanging around with, yeah, they're friends, but you don't know. They could be envious, jealous of Durk's success, so they'll try to set him up in any way so they can help themselves. 50 Cent has advised a lot of artists throughout the years. 6ix9ine, who got into his whole situation before, he was cool with him, and then after he snitched, obviously, he wasn't cool with him. Casanova, he advised him, watch what you're doing, as well as Troy Ave. That's another person that got involved in a lot of different things. And as you look, all three of them are struggling and doing their, not really at their peak of where they were because of all the stuff they had going on. But yeah, what do you guys think of 50 Cent's advice? Do you guys think that, any of these artists actually listen to these legends? That's the question in my head. Do they actually take into consideration what these people who have been through the same thing, do they actually listen to what they're saying? I would, because obviously the person's been through something, so why fall flat on your face when somebody else has already, done that and been through that, and they can help you through that journey? That's actually the sign of a high IQ person, when they learn from other people's mistakes and don't do the same. But hey, it is what it is, man. Everybody has their own kind of mindset and think they can get through life their own way. So let me know what you guys think, and we'll keep our eyes posted moving forward. That's it for today's video. If you guys want to support this channel further, you can do so at patreon.com/diverse mentality. For just $3 a month, you can get my videos uncut and raw the way I intended them to be, but couldn't because of YouTube. Plus, you also get access to our Discord community, where we have a great community talking about hip-hop and various other things. It's very dope. So only $3 a month. I'd really appreciate the support. Also, follow us on social media at QuakeGW and at Diverse Mentality. Thank you so much for the support, and I'll see you guys in the next one. Peace.